Hey everyone, what's going on? Greg here again from Team Blast. I want to share the value of increasing your keyword rank position on page one of Google and how you can back that into how many more leads you should get for your business. So this visual here, September 1st, we're position 14. That means page two of Google, position 4 for one of these target keywords that I've redacted. Now we're position 1. There's 1,600 monthly searches according to SEMRush, which results in about 20 more daily clicks to the website because we're position 1 compared to when we were position 14. So within SEMrush, what they show you here is if you can toggle through the settings between average position and visibility and estimated traffic, you can see when you're position 1, you're getting about roughly 20 clicks per day, give or take. Now, of course, we all know with AI overviews and desktop versus tablet versus mobile, there's so many factors, and even paid search too. There's so many factors to get involved with the click-through rate, but this is a good, real clean view from how SEMrush displays the click-through rate difference and the daily traffic that should come to the website. But what I did here was that I took it a little bit step further and said, okay, based off this particular keyword and the average rank position, I backed into what the click-through rate should be for that. So position 1 is just over 35%. Position 2 is under 15%. Position 3 is below 10%. And as you can see, as we keep going down further and further, the click-through rate drops. So we all know that the top of Google receives the most clicks because it's at the very top. People click on that. So really the value of being position 1 is quite lucrative. But even if you went from position 10 to position 3, that's still a massive click-through rate improvement right there. So what I did was, okay, I backed into the rough click-through rate percentage and said, okay, out of the 1,600 monthly searches per month, how many more visits should we be getting? So if we're position 1, we're getting 600 clicks. And then see if you're below that, so if you're position 2, you're under 200, and it keeps dropping down from there. So let's take a hypothetical. And let's say for position 1, if you stay there for the entire month of October, you should receive about 600 sessions from this one keyword due to the click-through rate and the expected monthly search volume for that keyword. If you're at position 5, you should get about 90 sessions from that one keyword back to your website. Difference there is 510 more sessions from being position 1 compared to position 5. On the right-hand side, historical lead conversion rate is 10%. So let's just pretend that 10% of people who come to the site will then fill out the form. However, out of that 10% who fill out the form, 20% of those become a customer. So we know not everyone who fills out the form is going to be a customer. There could be spam, there could be low quality leads, there could just be leads simply you don't close because they're talking to other competitors as well. Whatever the factor is, it's 20% we're using as this example that become paying customers. So what I did here was did really simple math. Position 1 results in 60 leads per month for that one keyword due to the 600 sessions you're getting. And again, the historical conversion rate is 10%. Position 5 is 9 leads. So the difference there is 51 more leads per month from being position 1 compared to being position 5. Next is say, okay, what's the difference when who become paying customers? That's 10 more. So again, it's roughly 20% of 50. So I just said 50 instead of 51, but it's 10 more customers right there from being position 1 compared to position 5. So that's really the quick value of, okay, improving our ranks, 10 more customers, paying customers per month, really easy math. Now here I am in the conclusion standpoint. I want to explain this in a little bit more detail of kind of how I think about this for my clients. So the start is we need to have Google Analytics set up and event tracking. So a lot of times clients I onboard, I see this a lot, they don't have either analytics, or if they do, they don't have event tracking. When I'll ask them, I'll say, hey, how many sessions does it take for somebody to either click on the phone icon on your website or fill out the form? If they don't know the answer, I have to add that tracking to their website because I have to kind of create a baseline. And unfortunately, if I don't have any historical data, I don't know, if there's seasonality that gets involved. But let's say after 30 days, I say, okay, roughly speaking, 10% of people who come to your website fill out your form. That is our baseline. Again, the more data you have, it makes it a lot easier for this and really set expectations. But if we have nothing to work with, we have to sort of set that up. Next, you want to get the baseline of historical rankings via SEMrush. So I noticed this. I've been doing a lot of hourly SEO consulting for other SEO professionals. And what I've noticed when I talk to them is that they don't do daily keyword tracking for their clients. They'll do kind of like sporadic, I'll track my, rankings here and there. The problem with that is that you won't catch trends, either good or bad. I highly recommend using SEMrush. There is a cost with that, but if you can set up daily keyword tracking, you can then take the aggregate. So for example, if in August you were average rank of position 8, then in September you went to position 6, and then in October you go to position 4 on average. That is a good trend line that you can say, hey, the strategy that I'm implementing is working. And you can always back that into the value from Google Analytics, how many more sessions it takes to get a lead. Next is the difference of the keywords. So, if you set the baseline and say, okay, this keyword is historically position 10, maybe you're getting like, let's just pretend like a 1% click-through rate for that one keyword. That's the baseline. Then you can kind of present that to your client and say, hey, this keyword here is position 10. I want to get more aggressive on it. And I want to make all these changes on the homepage. I want to add schema markup. I want to add video schema markup. I want to refresh the content. I want to have images load a little bit faster. I want to add more semantic phrases, whatever it is, to improve the keyword rank, because I want to have a higher click-through rate to get more leads. Getting that baseline established and you present it over is really important for the client relationships. So you show exactly, this is where you are, this is where I want to take you next. And then finally, keep the daily keyword tracking going, because you want to see if the changes you're doing are improving the ranks and therefore increasing the leads. You can then either use Google Analytics or Search Console to back into the value and say, hey, I can clearly see that we're getting a higher click-through rate or more traffic now to this page, and therefore getting more leads. If I go back up here, though, just this is kind of the main thing that I want to explain. A view like this is huge. I can see that the daily keyword tracking the daily keyword rank difference is going to result in about 20 more clicks per day, roughly. And this is just one keyword. So let's just pretend the keyword here is, I'll just make it up. Let's just, pretend the keyword is plumber. If the keyword plumber is improving, I can also conclude that terms like plumbers near me or plumber company or plumbing service or plumber plus city are also probably improving as well, which actually means that the value of this one keyword improving actually is more keywords that are also raising up in their ranks, and therefore you're getting even more traffic, which is why I always talk about the value of SEO is actually better than paid search, because for paid search, you have to pay for every single one of those keywords: plumbing, plumbing service, plumber, plumbers near me, plumber plus city, etc. Whereas in SEO, if the main primary term is improving, you're having other terms as well rank even better, and you're getting more of that traffic without paying for every one of those clicks. So that's kind of how I try to frame the value of better rankings equals more monthly traffic, which then results in more leads for your business. Anyway, thanks for watching this video. Let me know if you have any questions, and as always, have a good rest of your day.